Well, well, well. Look who decided to show up today. Let me guess. You've been hearing whispers, haven't you? Little conversations in corners, people leaning closer, voices dropping just a bit. Have you seen them?
Yeah, that's the one.
Funny thing about attention, people act like they hate it, but they can't stop talking about it. And right now,
Oh, yes.
the spotlight isn't just shining, it's burning. Because whether they admit it or not, whether they smile at you or pretend not to notice, there's one thing everyone seems to agree on. You're the hottie everyone's been talking about. But here's the real joker. Being the one everyone talks about isn't about looks. It's about power, confidence, and that dangerous spark that makes people wonder. What makes them so different? So tonight, let's talk about that spark. The kind that turns whispers into rumors, rumors into legends, and legends into something the world simply can't ignore. Confidence isn't something you borrow from the world. It's something you build inside yourself until it becomes impossible for people to ignore. The moment you walk into a room with real confidence, people notice it instantly. Not because you demanded attention, but because your presence naturally pulls eyes toward you. Confidence changes the way you stand, the way you speak, and even the way you think about yourself. When you truly believe in your own value, your energy becomes different. People can feel it without you saying a single word. Most people spend their lives trying to fit in. They copy trends, follow the crowd, and hide their true personality just to avoid judgment. But confidence works in the opposite way. Confident people don't chase approval. They don't beg for attention. They simply show up as they are, and that authenticity makes them powerful. When someone is comfortable in their own skin, it creates a magnetic effect. Others become curious about them. They start asking questions, watching their actions, and wondering what makes them so bold. Confidence also comes from self-respect. When you respect yourself, you stop tolerating things that lower your value. You speak with clarity. You set boundaries. You walk away from situations that drain your energy. This doesn't make you arrogant. It makes you aware of your worth. And that awareness changes how others treat you. People often mirror the way you see yourself. If you act like you deserve respect, the world begins to respond accordingly. Another powerful part of confidence is the courage to be different. The crowd will always move in the same direction because it feels safe there, but the person who dares to stand out instantly becomes noticeable. They don't hide their ideas. They don't shrink their personality just to keep others comfortable. Instead, they embrace what makes them unique. That uniqueness is what turns ordinary presence into unforgettable presence. Confidence also grows through action. It doesn't appear overnight. Every time you face a fear, speak your truth, or take a risk, you strengthen it. Each challenge you overcome adds another layer to your self-belief. Slowly, doubt begins to lose its control over you. The voice that once said, "You can't," becomes quieter, while the voice that says, "Watch me," becomes stronger. When someone carries this kind of energy, they naturally become the center of attention without trying. People admire courage because deep down, everyone wishes they had more of it. Confidence becomes the signal that you trust yourself, and trust is attractive. It tells the world that you are not afraid of judgment, rejection, or failure. Instead, you use those experiences as fuel to grow even stronger. True confidence is quiet but powerful. It doesn't need to shout or prove itself. It simply exists in the way you walk, speak, and hold your ground. And when people see that kind of certainty, they can't help but look twice, because confidence has a way of turning ordinary moments into unforgettable impressions. Mystery has a strange kind of power. People are naturally curious, and the moment something feels a little unknown, their attention immediately grows stronger. When everything about a person is obvious and predictable, interest fades quickly. But when someone keeps a sense of mystery around them, people begin to wonder. They start asking questions, thinking about them, and trying to understand what makes them so different. That curiosity alone can make someone unforgettable. Many people reveal everything about themselves too quickly. They share every thought, every plan, and every emotion without leaving any room for imagination. When that happens, others feel like there is nothing left to discover. Mystery works in the opposite way. It allows people to reveal themselves slowly, piece by piece, keeping others interested in what they might show next. This doesn't mean being secretive or dishonest. It simply means not feeling the need to explain everything about yourself all the time. Silence can also create mystery. Not every moment needs to be filled with words. When someone speaks less, but chooses their words carefully, people start paying closer attention to what they say. Silence creates space for observation, and observation gives a person deeper understanding of the people around them. Instead of constantly trying to impress others with endless talking, a mysterious presence often listens more and speaks with purpose. Mystery also comes from confidence in privacy. Some people feel pressure to constantly prove themselves or show every part of their lives to the world. But those who carry a mysterious aura understand the value of keeping certain things to themselves. Personal goals, deep emotions, and future plans do not always need public approval. When a person protects their inner world, it creates a sense that there is more beneath the surface than what people immediately see. Body language can strengthen this effect as well. Calm movements, steady eye contact, and relaxed posture send a quiet signal of control and self-awareness. A person who does not appear desperate for attention often attracts more of it. When someone looks comfortable with who they are and doesn't rush to explain themselves, people begin trying to figure them out. That curiosity keeps them in other people's minds much longer. Mystery is also connected to unpredictability. When someone behaves exactly the same in every situation, they become easy to read. But when a person has depth, creativity, and independent thinking, they naturally surprise others. One moment they may be calm and thoughtful, and the next they may show boldness or humor that nobody expected. These small surprises make interactions more exciting and memorable. There is also a psychological side to mystery. The human brain tends to focus more on things it cannot fully understand. When something remains slightly unclear, the mind keeps returning to it, trying to complete the picture. That is why mysterious personalities often become the subject of conversations. People keep discussing them, analyzing their behavior, and wondering what drives them. A mysterious presence doesn't mean being distant or cold. It means allowing your personality to unfold naturally instead of trying to display everything at once. By keeping some depth beneath the surface, you invite curiosity instead of forcing attention. And curiosity has a way of spreading from one person to another, turning quiet intrigue into something people continue talking about. Owning the spotlight begins with understanding that attention is not something to fear. Many people feel uncomfortable when eyes turn toward them. They begin to doubt themselves, worry about judgment, and try to shrink back into the crowd. But those who truly own the spotlight see attention differently. They understand that being noticed is simply an opportunity to express who they really are. Instead of running from it, they step into it with calm confidence. The spotlight is not just about standing in front of people. It is about presence. Presence means that when you enter a space, people feel your energy, your posture, your expressions, and the way you carry yourself all communicate something before you even speak. Someone who owns the spotlight walks with purpose, stands with balance, and moves with intention. These small signals show others that this person is comfortable being seen. Voice also plays a powerful role. When someone speaks clearly and with certainty, people naturally begin to listen. A steady voice shows control and confidence, while a hesitant voice can create doubt, even when the words themselves are strong. Owning the spotlight means allowing your voice to reflect your belief in what you are saying. Speaking at a steady pace, choosing words carefully, and allowing pauses when necessary makes communication feel stronger and more meaningful. Another important part of owning attention is authenticity. People quickly notice when someone is pretending to be someone they are not. Forced confidence and artificial behavior often feel uncomfortable to watch. But when a person is genuine, their presence feels natural and engaging. Authenticity allows people to connect with you because they sense honesty behind your actions and expressions. The spotlight becomes easier to handle when you are simply being yourself instead of performing for approval. Owning the spotlight also requires courage. Attention brings opinions, and opinions sometimes bring criticism. The fear of being judged often stops people from showing their full potential. But confident individuals understand that judgment is part of visibility. The more you stand out, the more people will talk. Instead of allowing criticism to silence them, they use it as motivation to grow stronger and clearer in their purpose. Body language strengthens this ability even further. Direct eye contact shows self-assurance and engagement. Open gestures make communication feel welcoming and confident. Even the way someone smiles or reacts during conversations can change how others perceive them. A relaxed and controlled presence helps the spotlight feel like a natural environment rather than a stressful situation. Preparation is another hidden element. People who appear comfortable in the spotlight often spend time preparing themselves mentally and emotionally. They think about what they want to say, how they want to present their ideas, and how they want people to feel during the interaction. This preparation removes much of the uncertainty that causes nervousness. When the moment arrives, they are ready to express themselves with clarity. Owning attention also means sharing energy with the people around you. The spotlight should not create distance between you and your audience. Instead, it becomes a bridge that allows communication, connection, and influence. When people feel included in your energy, they become more engaged and interested in what you are expressing. The spotlight then transforms from simple attention into a powerful platform for presence and impact. Standing out from the crowd begins with understanding that the crowd itself is built on similarity. Most people move through life following patterns created by others. They adopt the same habits, repeat the same opinions, and chase the same definitions of success because it feels safe. Blending in removes the risk of judgment, but it also removes the chance to be truly noticed. When someone chooses a different path, even in small ways, they immediately become more visible. Individuality is one of the strongest forces behind standing out. Every person has unique experiences, thoughts, talents, and perspectives. Yet many people hide these qualities to avoid appearing different. The moment someone decides to embrace their individuality, instead of suppressing it, they begin separating themselves from the crowd. Their ideas sound fresh, their behavior feels authentic, and their presence becomes more memorable because it reflects something real rather than something copied. Courage plays a major role in this process. It takes courage to express opinions that might not be popular. It takes courage to follow goals that others might not understand. Many people remain quiet simply because they fear criticism or rejection. But those who stand out recognize that criticism often appears whenever someone challenges normal expectations. Instead of letting fear silence them, they move forward with clarity and confidence in their own direction. Creativity also helps someone rise above the ordinary. When people approach problems or opportunities with creativity, they introduce new possibilities that others may not have considered. Creative thinking breaks the routine of predictable responses and opens the door to innovation. Whether it appears in the way someone communicates, solves problems, or expresses ideas, creativity naturally draws attention because it offers something different from what people are used to seeing. Consistency is another important factor. Standing out once can happen by chance, but standing out repeatedly requires discipline. When a person consistently demonstrates their values, skills, and unique perspective, others begin to recognize a pattern of authenticity and strength. This consistency builds a reputation that distinguishes them from those who simply follow trends for short periods before changing direction again. Confidence strengthens all of these qualities. When someone believes in their own identity, they stop seeking constant approval from the crowd. Instead of changing themselves to fit every situation, they maintain their character and values. This stability makes them appear grounded and self-aware. People often respect individuals who remain true to themselves, even when external pressure encourages conformity. Another powerful element is purpose. Individuals who understand what they want and why they want it naturally move with greater focus. Their actions feel intentional rather than random. Purpose creates direction, and direction helps others see that this person is not simply drifting with the crowd, but actively shaping their own path. This clarity becomes inspiring to those who are still searching for their own sense of direction. Energy and attitude also influence how someone is perceived. A person who approaches life with enthusiasm, curiosity, and determination tends to leave a stronger impression than someone who appears passive or uncertain. Positive energy spreads quickly in social environments, making people more receptive to the person who brings that energy into the space. Standing apart does not mean rejecting others or isolating yourself. It means allowing your personality, ideas, and ambitions to exist openly without being reduced by the pressure to conform. When authenticity, courage, creativity, and purpose combine, the difference between blending in and standing out becomes clear to everyone watching. Attention is something many people experience, but very few understand how to use. When people notice you, talk about you, or focus their interest on you, that attention becomes a form of energy. Some individuals allow that energy to fade quickly, while others learn how to transform it into something much more powerful. Influence begins when attention is guided with purpose, instead of being wasted on temporary impressions. The first step in turning attention into influence is awareness. A person who receives attention must understand why people are noticing them in the first place. It could be confidence, personality, creativity, style, or a unique perspective. Once that reason becomes clear, it can be strengthened and expressed more intentionally. Instead of treating attention as random, it becomes something that can be shaped and directed. Communication plays a major role in this transformation. When people are already paying attention, the words you choose begin to carry greater weight. Clear communication allows ideas to travel further, because people are already interested in listening. A confident tone, thoughtful language, and meaningful messages can turn simple attention into respect and trust. Once people trust what you say, your influence naturally begins to grow. Consistency is another key factor. Influence does not develop from one impressive moment, it grows from repeated actions that confirm who you are. When people see the same values, attitude, and confidence appearing again and again, they begin to believe that those qualities are genuine. Consistency builds reliability, and reliability is one of the foundations of influence. People are more likely to listen to someone who demonstrates stable character over time. Responsibility also becomes important when attention increases. The more people watch and listen, the greater the impact your behavior can have. Every action sends a message, whether intentional or not. Those who understand influence become more aware of the example they are setting. Their behavior reflects the image they want others to associate with them, strengthening the connection between their presence and their message. Influence also grows through connection. Attention might begin with curiosity, but influence deepens when people feel understood. When someone listens carefully to others, respects different perspectives, and communicates with empathy, the relationship becomes stronger. instead of simply being someone who attracts attention. They become someone whose presence feels meaningful and valuable to others. Confidence continues to play an important role in this process. A person who doubts their own voice will struggle to guide the attention they receive, but someone who believes in their ideas speaks with clarity and conviction. This conviction encourages others to take those ideas seriously. Confidence allows influence to expand because it removes hesitation and replaces it with purposeful expression. Purpose gives direction to influence. Without purpose, attention may only create short moments of popularity that quickly disappear. With purpose, attention becomes a tool for creating lasting impact. A person with clear intentions uses their visibility to inspire, motivate, or guide others toward meaningful goals. Their influence becomes connected to something greater than personal recognition. Over time, the combination of awareness, communication, consistency, responsibility, connection, confidence, and purpose transforms simple attention into lasting influence. What once began as curiosity from others evolves into respect, trust, and the power to shape conversations, ideas, and perspectives in ways that continue to grow stronger.